Welcome to Headphone News, Montreal edition for Monday, December 16, 2024.
Senator challenges horse exports to Japan. A senator from Manitoba, Canada, is challenging horse exports to Japan. They are calling for support to stop flying horses for slaughter through Bill C-355. Concerns about animal welfare have come up, with reports showing that more than 20 horses died during transport from Canada to Japan between May 2023 and June 2024. The senator worries that ongoing debates might delay this proposed law until after a federal election, putting its future at risk. Animal advocacy groups stress the need for better treatment of horses during transport.
Kemp's Ridley sea turtle found in Quebec. A Kemp's Ridley sea turtle, one of the smallest and most at-risk turtle species, was found on the shores of Gros Isle in the Magdalen Islands, Quebec, Canada. This marks the first sighting of this species in the province. Veterinarian Richard confirmed that a local resident discovered the turtle. Unfortunately, efforts to revive it failed, and the turtle will undergo an animal autopsy to determine the cause of death. This discovery is alarming, as it highlights the effects of climate change, which is pushing marine animals further north. The Kemp's Ridley turtle typically migrates from the Gulf of Mexico. Protecting this endangered species is crucial, emphasizing the urgent need for action against climate change to preserve marine life.
Impact of Taylor Swift's concert on Canadian inflation. Inflation in Canada is expected to stay around 2% for November, according to economists. This stability is partly thanks to the economic growth from Taylor Swift's Eras Tour in Toronto, which has led to increased local spending. As a result, inflation is projected to rise slightly to 2.1%, with some predictions suggesting it could reach 2.2%. In October, inflation was recorded at 1.6%. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened a 25% tariff on Canadian goods, which could push inflation even higher. Additionally, a goods and services tax holiday in December might temporarily lower inflation to about 1.5% in January. This situation shows how cultural events and political events can significantly influence economic conditions.
Joy Akinkunmi's innovative pill dispenser. Joy Akinkunmi, a 15-year-old from Nova Scotia, Canada, has created a groundbreaking device to help people with dementia manage their medications. Inspired by a family member with Lewy body dementia, Joy designed this automatic pill dispenser to remind users when to take their medicine and to alert caregivers through a mobile app. Her creative project earned her an award at the Discovery Awards. The device costs about $75 Canadian, which is roughly $55 United States dollars. Joy hopes to market this dispenser, making it available to more families. This invention highlights the need for inexpensive healthcare solutions for our aging population.
Canada's Fall Economic Update. On December 15, 2024, the Canadian government will share its Fall Economic Statement in Ottawa. This update is expected to reveal a larger deficit than previously estimated. Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland will outline actions aimed at increasing business investment in Canada. The government believes tax reforms could generate about 26 billion Canadian dollars, which is roughly 19.24 billion United States dollars. Concerns have risen due to recent threats from U.S. President Donald Trump, who may impose a 25% import tariff on Canadian goods. As a result, the Canadian government might exceed its deficit cap of 40.1 billion Canadian dollars, with predictions suggesting it could reach 46.8 billion Canadian dollars, or about 34.63 billion United States dollars. Additionally, a temporary goods and services tax break that started on December 10 is expected to cost around 1.6 billion Canadian dollars, which is about 1.18 billion United States dollars. The government also plans to offer 250 Canadian dollar rebates, approximately 185 United States dollars, to working Canadians earning less than 150,000 Canadian dollars. This upcoming fiscal update will address these economic challenges and outline strategies to support Canadian businesses.
Quebec flood zone maps affect residents. Quebec municipalities are getting ready for new flood zone maps that will increase the areas at risk of flooding. 5 years ago, a dike failure in Saint-Martin-sur-le-Lac forced more than 6,000 residents to leave their homes. Mayor François Robillard warns that the new maps could label around 2,000 homes as flood zones, a big jump from just 2 before. Recent estimates show that the number of homes in at-risk areas could rise from 22,000 to 77,000. The new system will sort flood risks into 4 levels: low, moderate, high, and very high. Property owners in very high-risk areas will face limits on building and rebuilding. Nearby, Point Calumet may see over 97% of its land classified as a flood zone. Local officials are asking for clearer communication from the provincial government, as residents are worried about their property values and insurance costs.
Rising food theft in Canada. Recent reports show an increase in food theft across Canada, especially in British Columbia and Ontario. Joe Chaput, who co-owns Les Amis du Fromage, a specialty cheese store in Vancouver, plans to spend $5,500 Canadian on security guards during the holiday season. He will also invest $5,000 Canadian to upgrade his video cameras. In Ontario, police have reported around 8 or 9 butter thefts over the past year. One incident last December involved $1,000 Canadian worth of butter, while in October, thieves stole $936 Canadian worth. With food prices going up due to inflation and supply chain problems, these items have become attractive targets for criminals. Local law enforcement is stepping up efforts to tackle these crimes and protect businesses.
Quebec extends health coverage for Ukrainian refugees. The Quebec government has announced an important extension of health coverage for Ukrainian refugees, lasting 3 more years until March 2028. This decision is crucial, as the original coverage was set to end in March 2023. Health Minister Christian Dubé emphasized the commitment to assist the Ukrainian people during this ongoing crisis, which began with Russia's invasion in February 2022. This health coverage is a lifeline for many refugees, enabling them to access essential medical services. Right now, the costs for this extension are still being worked out between the provincial and federal governments in Ottawa. This decision highlights the importance of providing vital services to those who need them most.
A True Christmas in Family. On December 15, 2024, a Christmas show titled, A True Christmas in Family, was held in Canada. The event showcased celebrated soprano and humorist Natalie Chiquette, her daughter Florence Kay, a popular singer and host of CBC's C'est Formidable, and Natalie's granddaughter Alice Cyr. This memorable performance took place at the Make the Season Kind Christmas Market, a local gathering that supports small businesses and promotes community culture. The show joyfully celebrated the bond of family and music during the holiday season, highlighting the connection between generations. Events like this enrich our cultural scene and nurture community spirit.
Montreal Metro pepper spray incident. On December 15, 2024, a suspected pepper spray attack disrupted the Montreal metro system in Canada. The incident occurred at Place des Arts Station around 8:20 p.m., affecting about 20 people who reported signs of irritation. Emergency responders rushed to help those impacted, and thankfully, no serious injuries were reported. For safety, the Place des Arts, Peel, and Barrie UQAM stations were cleared, and efforts were made to improve air circulation. This incident is part of a troubling pattern, with 53 pepper spray attacks reported in the Montreal metro over the past 4 years. The suspects involved in the confrontation fled the scene after spraying the irritant. Metro service gradually restarted by 10 p.m. This event raises important questions about community safety in urban areas.
Montreal armed assault leads to arrests. 3 men were arrested in Montreal, Canada, after an armed attack injured 2 people early Sunday morning. The incident occurred at 3:30 a.m. at the corner of René Lévesque Boulevard and Montcalm Street. A 26-year-old man was hurt by a sharp object, while a 35-year-old woman suffered injuries from blunt force. Both victims were taken to the hospital and are expected to recover. Police quickly apprehended two 18-year-olds and a 22-year-old man, with help from police dogs during the investigation. Armed attacks are often linked to gang issues or personal disputes, raising concerns about safety in our communities. The legal consequences for those arrested could be serious. This incident highlights ongoing problems with crime in our cities.
Montreal Canadiens season update. The Montreal Canadiens, a professional ice hockey team based in Montreal, Canada, are having a tough season in the NHL. Recently, they lost to the Winnipeg Jets with a score of 4-2, and faced a challenging defeat against the Pittsburgh Penguins, ending 9-2. Young player Lane Hutson finally scored his first NHL goal after 32 games, bringing his total to 21 goals this season. In contrast, fellow young talent Juraj Slafkovsky has only managed to score 2 goals, which raises some concerns about his performance. General manager Kent Hughes is focused on improving the team by looking for a dependable center and goalie. Kirby Dach has a -21 rating, indicating he's struggled on the ice. The Canadiens are dedicated to developing young talent as part of their rebuilding plan, aiming for success in the future.
Investigation into hypothermia-related death in Montreal. A coroner is investigating the death of a 55-year-old man found unresponsive in Place Simon Valois, Montreal, Canada. Police received a call at 9 a.m. on Sunday. Firefighters and paramedics quickly arrived and took the man to a hospital, where he was declared dead. Mayor Pierre Lessard-Blaise described this incident as a preventable disaster and stressed the urgent need for more temporary housing as winter approaches. Investigators are looking into dangerously low body temperature as a possible cause of death, which poses serious risks for homeless individuals during cold weather. Montreal is facing an increasing homelessness issue, highlighting the critical need for community support and resources.
Lawsuit against Gilbert Rozon for alleged sexual assaults. 9 women are suing Gilbert Rozon, the founder of the Just for Laughs Festival in Quebec, Canada. They are seeking nearly $14 million, which is about $10.4 million, for claims of sexual assault that happened from the 1980s to the early 2000s. This case is part of the ongoing impact of the #MeToo movement, which started in 2017. The trial began on December 9, 2024. Recent changes in Quebec law now give victims more time to file complaints. However, Rozon's lawyers plan to challenge these changes, arguing that the extended timeline makes it harder to defend against the claims. This lawsuit highlights the difficulties victims face and emphasizes the need for accountability from powerful individuals.
Canada Post workers return after wage agreement. Canada Post will restart its services on December 17, 2024, after the Labour Board ordered workers back to their jobs. About 55,000 workers, represented by the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, had been on strike due to stalled pay negotiations. Canada Post has agreed to a 5% pay raise, effective from when the last agreements ended. This new agreement aims to resolve the disagreement between workers and management and bring back postal services across Canada. The government's involvement highlights the importance of fair pay and the critical role of labor relations in keeping essential services running.
That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's Headphone News. News summary brought to you by AI.